over there! It's Yuri, with her nose stuck in a book again. Really? What's she reading? Probably some slash and murder thing again. I swear she's probably studying up on how to carve us all up someday. I hear she practices on herself. Hey, watch this! Yuri! I seem to have misplaced my pen. Do you happen to have one I could use? No, I'm afraid I don't have a pen with me. Oh, really? Are you sure you don't? You don't happen to have one hidden away somewhere, do you? I'm afraid I don't understand. Oh my! That isn't... I mean... And that's how you get her nose out of her book! Yuri? Yuri! I've been trying to put my feelings into words, Yuri. Oh, John, I didn't know. I think I found the perfect words for you. She walks in beauty, like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies. And all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes. Thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. A Lord Byron poem. You're quite the man of taste, John. But of course you must understand. Do not arouse or awaken love until it so desires. Oh, Yuri, well... What do you have to say to that, Sayori? Huh? Well, that all sounds good, Mr. Detective, but do you have any proof? Well, there's an easy way to find out. Shows the contents of your coin purse. Yeah! Oh, fine! You win! How did you know anyway? Like I said, I know you, Sayori. Besides, you're always hungry. True. Care to join in the conversation, Yuri? I was just something in my book. I wasn't eavesdropping, I promise. Yuri! John is being a meanie. Tell him that if he was a true gentleman, he'd lend me some money. I really shouldn't get involved in this disagreement. Besides, if you have spent all your money, then you shouldn't ask for more. Sometimes, by the way, you can ask for more. Because some people are just put in very unfair situations where spending all their money kind of means just paying rent or paying for groceries. If they want, if they're close to someone who has a lot of money, they have full permission to ask maybe every now and then, can you pay for us to go to the cinema? Can you pay for my ice cream? Or also more complex things, because sometimes it's necessary. You should learn to be responsible for the amount you have. And frankly, after pulling this cheer's little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. Wow. Oh, Yuri, I don't think I've ever heard you speak your mind like that before. That's a really neat side of you, to you. Oh, really? I didn't mean to speak out of turn or anything. I'm so sorry. My book and all. I did speak my mind. It was such a simple thing. Could it be? Am I becoming a stronger person? Because of John? Okay, everyone. You know the drill. We'll be reading our poems a little later, so go ahead and get lost in your books. And other forms of literature. But manga books are also books. Thank you! Yuri? Would you mind getting the tea ready? Yes, of course, Monica. Erin is off to their respective corners. Now skips the closet and starts inspecting her manga. She said she was feeling someone has been moving it around, so she's being pretty thorough in her inspection. She'll probably be ready to read a volume later. Sarah heads to the front of the class and discuss club matters with Monica. I'm sorry. I'm feeling really hot, but I'm sick. I can't, like, wear anything that leaves my body even colder than this. Yuri's getting the tea set. I'm not really sure what to do for the moment. Actually cut out some anime time to read my chapter portrait of Markov, not to mention a volume for Fae Girls. I'm sure my unwatched episodes will learn to forgive me. Yuri's book is actually starting to get good, and I was interested in discussing it with her, so I guess I'll wait for her to get done making the tea. I put down my bag and take out my copy of Yuri's book when she suddenly approaches me. She is facing me, but isn't making direct eye contact. Her hands are busy fiddling with the teapot. Would you like to help me fill the teapot? In the hallway. Once again, I'm taken by how cute Yuri is when she's nervous, which is pretty much all the time. How could I possibly say no? Sure thing, Yuri. I put down the book and start to follow her out of the room. As we approach the door, Monica comes over and calls out to us. Yuri! Did you ask John to help you with the tea? The question seems to surprise Yuri as it hesitates with her answer. Well, yes, I just thought. That isn't really a two-person job, is it? I don't think you need to burn our newest member with something so mundane. He should be spending his time reading something. Oh, it's no trouble. I was just Monica. The tone of Yuri's voice surprises me. Instead of her normal stutter, this one word was pointed and direct, without a hint of hesitation. I turned to face Yuri, surprised at her sudden boldness. To be frank, she should have phrased it better. You don't have to burden our new member. Just say maybe you should be reading. Or something. The phrasing was really just made to make it sound as horrible as possible. Even her posture has changed to project an air of authority. Her back is straight and her normally averted gaze is fixed directly on Monica. I asked John to help me because he is a gentleman. And as a gentleman, would it not be his duty to assist a lady with whatever task, however minor, she is faced with? Would you ask me to deny John an opportunity to participate in his gentlemanly duties? Well, no. Furthermore, it is after school hours, and our clubroom is on the far side of the building. There are no staff around this area to keep an eye on things. It would be unwise for a young woman such as myself to head off into a strange area without an escort. Do you not agree? Well, I suppose you are right. Yuri triumphantly throws her head back. Thank you for conceding the point. In the future, I would ask that you mind your own business. And with that, Yuri quickly turns and starts out the door. I'm completely dumbfounded. I can't believe that just came out of this shy, reserved Yuri. I take a moment to collect my thoughts as I head toward the door. But just as that was phrased intentionally to be as poorly worded as possible, this was also phrased very interestingly. Do it because he's a gentleman. He must do it because he's a gentleman. And she keeps getting tea all the time, so calling it a strange area to fill up the water pitcher is not really the best choice of words, I'd say. I take a moment to collect my thoughts as I don't photo. Before I step onto the hall, I get the impression that all activity in the clubroom seems to have stopped. I turn around to glance behind me, and there's Natsuki quickly ducking her head into her box of manga, while Sayuri suddenly holds a piece of paper in front of her face. It's almost as if they had stopped what they were doing to listen in. I shoot a quick glance in Monica's direction. Its confused look on her face that can only offer me a small, almost imperceptible shrug. I return the shrug and head out into the hallway. As I exit the club room, I notice that Yuri is already half down the hall. She has set the teapot on the floor and has placed her hands and forehead against the wall. Hair is draped down, covering her face. As I get close, I can hear her voice from under her hair. Stupid. How could I talk to her like that? Stupid Yuri. Yuri? She is startled by my voice and jerks up suddenly. John! I'm sorry about my behavior in there. I don't know. I was just angry all of a sudden. Oh no! I'm sure Monica must hate me now. You probably hate me too. Understand if you didn't want to talk to me anymore after seeing me like that. Whoa! Calm down, Yuri. It's alright. I don't hate you, and I'm sure Monica doesn't either. Yuri peers at me from behind her chair. But I was so cruel and boorish. Nobody wanted to be around me after such an outburst. It's just like with Natsuki yesterday. I've always gotten the impression that Yuri doesn't get out much. But hearing her like this, I honestly wonder if she has anyone she is close with. Yuri, one outburst like that isn't going to brand you as some kind of horrible person. Everyone has bad days, and sometimes you just snap. It's fine. Your friends will understand. My friends? Well, yeah. Isn't Monica your friend? Yuri looks away again. It seems like she doesn't know to answer my question. I mean, have you ever discussed personal things with her? Or perhaps anyone else in the literature club? Well, not really. I'm a rather private person. You don't say. I have similar interests to the other club members, but I don't know if I really think of them as friends. Okay, well, then I'll tell you something personal about myself. Oh, John, nothing scandalous, I hope. If I didn't know any better, I'd almost say that she was flirting with me. About a year or two ago, I was preparing to go to an anime convention. I'd planned to meet up with some guys I knew on the message board. Well, we got to talking and we decided that we would all go in cosplay. And we decided we would go as the Sailor Senshi from Sailor Moon. You gives me a blank look. They are schoolgirl superheroes dressed in uniforms, kind of like yours. Oh, okay. Yours seems less than impressed. So anyway, I got elected to be the leader. So I would go as Sailor Moon. I spent weeks working on my costume. I watched so many episodes to make sure it was accurate. And finally, the big day arrived. We agreed to meet up at a supermarket a few blocks away from the convention. So I showed up at the market dressed up in my colorful schoolgirl outfit and my blonde wig and pigtails, carrying my moon-shaped magic wand. And none of the other guys showed up. So I spent over an hour there, dressed like that. Sailor Moon without her senshi! That's mean! Sailor Moon needs a friend. I finished the first season of Sailor Moon. I started the second one but never finished it. Yuri looks at me with a dumbfounded expression on her face. Then slowly a smile starts to spread across her face. She keeps her hand over her mouth, attempting to stifle a laugh, but it escapes as a small snort which turns into genuine hearty laughter. You must have been quite a sight. Well, I don't look too bad in a schoolgirl uniform if I do say so myself. I'll bet. One of my friends has worn DDLC cosplay before. Yuri, Monica. And another one of us has been Natsuki before. And you know what they like, guys. And you know what? They look good in it. In one case, like with the one who played Yuri and Monica, cosplayed Yuri and Monica. Although he went very far to also. He's the one with very good voice acting. You couldn't tell that he was a guy in a costume. You could literally just think he was a tall woman who was dressing up as like the DDLC girls. Like, cosplaying. A girl cosplaying. And he was very into character. You know what? He looked very good in that cosplay. He also really knows how to, like, really model his face, though. It can get pretty extreme. I'm still hot. He's getting me hot. He looked very stunning as Monica and Yuri. No, he looked very good. And he didn't look like himself at all due to his face. It didn't have his usual shape anymore. And he also, like, his entire body language changed to match kind of with the body language that the characters have. He kind of went into the poses a little bit. He pushed out his chest, and yes, he did stuff like a bra. He was wearing to have like breasts. You couldn't tell that. You literally could just think that was a guy, like, a girl. You could literally just think that was a girl cosplaying as the DDLC girls. I'm pretty sure he even had to mess with the cosplay, like with the uniforms, to make it. He's very tall. He's one of my tall friends. And they didn't really have his size for like the stuff, so I'm pretty sure I had to work on that as well. Anyway, I'm very happy about that. He looked very beautiful. I think this is the first time I've heard Yuri laugh. It's a nice sound. I think I may be seeing a side of her that she doesn't show very often. Well, that's quite a story to... Yeah, well, now you know something about personal about me. I suppose then it is only fair that I tell you something personal about myself. Afraid I don't have any funny stories about going out with friends. Hey, that's fine. You don't have to tell me anything if you aren't comfortable doing it. No, it's only fair after all. Part of my frustration earlier stems from an incident this morning. Some of my classmates were teasing me about a nasty rumor that had been spread about me. Nasty rumor? Yes, someone said a rumor that I'd been caught in the girls' bathroom doing something undignified with a pen. Whoa, I've heard that rumor making the rounds. I had no idea it was about Yuri. Oh, Yuri. It isn't true! I would never. I know, Yuri. Some people out there are just trash, and they'll tear down a kind, wonderful person like you just to make themselves feel better. Don't pay any attention to them. Yuri's expression changes. She stops hiding her behind her hair and looks me straight in the eye. I can see a mixture of relief and admiration in her eyes. Oh, John, you're so nice to me. Well, what are friends for? You and I are friends? Well, of course. Why wouldn't we be? Give me a moment. Yuri smiles warmly. The way she's looking at me makes me feel like I should be blushing. I like being friends with you, John. Give me a moment. Another moment. It's something important, but I don't want to stop because I don't want to set a cut for something that's really only taking seconds. So, okay. Just something, a message It's really, I don't really want to cut out, like, I really enjoy the music in mods in the original game, and I don't want to cut things out if it's really only, like, such a short moment. So I'm sorry. I return a smile. Yeah, me too, Yuri. We both stand looking at each other for a moment, each unsure of how to fill the sudden awkward silence. So, when you were in the schoolgirl uniform, you didn't shave your legs authentically, did you? Hey, look at that! We haven't gotten the water for the tea yet. What's so bad about shaving your hair? Most of my guys, either one of them kind of doesn't need to shave their very bare legs because it just, I don't know, he has either so bright hair it really isn't showing, but I think the hairs on his body are generally like very short. Keep telling you about my friend's body. It's like one of my friends wore a bra and stuffed it to look like Yuri and Monica. I know he doesn't care. I'm pretty sure they don't care about their shaved or not shaved but not very hairy legs all that much either. I can ask him to be sure. We haven't gotten the water for the tea yet. We should really get on that. We both laugh at this and Yuri picks up the teapot. We head down the hall toward the water fountain together, perhaps walking a little closer to each other than we were before. We return to the club room and begin to read our chapter of Portrait of Markov. Some time passes as I move on to read some of Natsuki, as well as take care of some club business with Sayori. Finally, it's time for us to read our poems, so I get mine out of my bag and head over to join the group. Once again, Yuri eyeballs my poem carefully. My poem? My poem. She doesn't seem as confused this time. In fact, she almost looks amused. Well, John, I must say that you have improved a good deal for just your second poem. Oh, you're just being nice, Yuri. No, I mean it. You seem to have a better grip on your words this time. Still a bit freeform, but I'm starting to see the beginnings of your writing style. Really? I have a writing style? Who knew? So, what kind of style do I have? Your writing seems to be influenced by your mood. Yesterday you seemed to favor words that were opposites to each other, which seemed to mean you were conflicted. But today your words and phrases seem to be grouped together in a more orderly fashion. I'm seeing short, monosyllabic words arranged in a group. Then here I'm seeing more abstract words, especially pertaining to intangible things like emotions. Finally, these words here are lavish and detailed. You can't seem to decide which group of words you prefer, but you're growing in your understanding of them. Perhaps you will eventually settle on whichever words you prefer. Yuri, you can read me like a book. Well, books are my specialty, as are poems. Here's mine for today. I decided to make them more complex than the one from yesterday. The raccoon. It happened in the dead of night, while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scattering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread. My subconscious, well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity. The raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again. Once again, I am astounded by the way Yuri uses words in her poetry. The way she writes puts clear images in my head. Yuri's waiting for my reaction. She's fidgeting as much as she was yesterday, but I can still feel the tension emanating from her. This poem was really good, Yuri. Yuri exhales after hearing that. The tension is suddenly gone, and a content look appears on her face. I'm very happy to hear you say that, John. So, what can you tell me about this poem? Well, suddenly the tension returns. It's about how certain things are perceived by other people. Some people have hobbies and interests that others might ridicule them for. Some people, huh? Empathize with people like that. Wow. You're opening up to me some more. So, do you have any unusual hobbies that you are afraid people will find out about? I'll take your sounds as a yes. I guess I need to steer the conversation away from that topic. Hey, don't worry about it, because you are talking to the king of unusual hobbies. Sailor Moon, remember? If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I wouldn't want you to be uncomfortable. Yuri smiles wide at that comment. Thank you, John. I really appreciate that. Anytime, Yuri. Yeah, your poem's good. Thank you. Are you going to show me yours? No. I'm not interested in having my poetry criticized by you. I know you won't like it, so let's just skip the whole reading portion. I think that's crap to deal with. I don't need you tearing me down. I see. Seriously? I see? That's all you have to say for me after yesterday? Ugh. You were so frustrated, you know that? Don't you want to talk about it? I mean, you come in here, you barely talk to us, Letting you to talk about yourself is like pulling teeth. And now, all of a sudden, you start an argument with me. And today you pop off to the club president. Seriously, Yuri, what's wrong with you? Something's really wrong. You need to tell us, understand? Well, come on, Yuri. Spit it out. What's wrong? Fine. Be that way. If anything is really wrong, I hope you can talk to one of the others about it, because you sure don't seem to care to let me in. Well, not with that attitude. I must say, Yuri, I love getting to read your poetry. You really have a way with words, you know? Thank you. Anyway, the use of words like guilty and unordinary tell me that the speaker is feeling apprehensive about something. Is this poem about some kind of guilty pleasure, perhaps? Maybe a hobby the speaker wants to keep hidden. I suppose if that's what you think. Yuri, are you okay? You're awfully quiet. I'm usually quiet. Well, yes, but you always seem like you're afraid of me. I'm ashamed about how I acted toward you earlier. Oh, that's not a big... It was unbelievably rude. Toward club president, no less. Oh, Monica, I know my actions were unforgivable. I know you must hate me for how I acted. Understand if you asked me to leave. It would be an apt punishment after all. Yuri, nobody wants you to leave. The way I acted yesterday was unusual for you, but I know that isn't how you really are. I just assumed you were dealing with something stressful and lost your head for a moment. It happens to all of us. Oh, I know you're just being nice. Should have never acted so out of turn. I wish my mom could hear you say that. I've lost my temper with her plenty of times, yeah. Monica! You behaved that way to your own mother! I'm afraid so. I can be pretty stubborn sometimes, and she and I have had our share of shouting matches. I never would have imagined. Yuri, we are complex, emotional creatures. Sometimes we hit our limit and lash out. The important thing is to be understanding when that happens. I don't know what you are going through that would frustrate you so much, but I won't hold an emotional outburst like that against you. Thank you, Monica. That really means a lot to me. Glad I could be there for you, Yuri. Okay, everyone. Now that we are done with our poems, I need everyone to come up to the front of the room to discuss something. Oh, great. I know what's coming. This is about the festival, isn't it? Well, yes it is. Okay. Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't think we have time to put anything together. If we do, it'll be slapdash and poorly done. Nobody want to join if we put something crappy together, so we probably shouldn't do anything. Natsuki's right. A rush display will reflect poorly on our club. Perhaps we should withhold our efforts for now and plan an event later. Oh, don't worry, guys. We have a plan, and the best part is it won't require a huge amount of setup. We'll just need a few decorations, some snacks, and ourselves. We're going to have a public poetry reading. Public? Isn't reading in front of people? Of course! We've been having so much fun writing our own poems in the club. I thought it'd be fun to show them off to everyone. When no one sees us getting into poetry, it'll help ease some of the stigma associated with something called a literature club. And we'll invite other people to come up and recite their own poems. Sue's been making the posters with the information so that people can prepare their poems ahead of time. So Yuri proudly holds up one of her posters. Sure enough, it announces a poetry reading and invites everyone to come with their own poetry prepared. There's even a picture of all 4 of the girls on the poster. Did you already put those up? Well, yeah. Just a few in the front of the hall. The rest will go up tonight. Oh my! Monica. I'm not reading poetry in front of strangers. Oh? I thought that with all the reading we've been doing here, you'd be more comfortable with the idea. But I'm not! I mean, I've gotten to the point I can share it with you guys. But absolute strangers? No way! I'm not showing them this side of myself. Okay, now let's get her piece. What about you, Yuri? Breathe, breathe, breathe. I think your position is quite clear. Neither Natsuki nor Yuri are interested in this idea. For my part, I try my best to argue in favor of the poetry reading. The fest has already been fun in the past, and I think a good showing would be good for the club. Finally, Monica gives a passionate speech about how this club has been a place of acceptance for all of its members. While their expressions haven't changed, both Yuri and Natsuki agree that Monica is right. I've noticed that this club seems to be a safe space for both of them. They're both afraid to be themselves within the confines of this classroom. Even Sayori chimes in with a discussion about how literature club has been good for her. Well, you both put up a pretty good argument. I suppose I could get up there and recite a poem or two. I suppose if I could, if I worked up to it. I'd like to recite some poetry here with all of you, if you don't mind. That sounds like a great idea, Yuri! Let's all take a moment and recite the poem right here. After all, if we can't do it in front of each other, we can do it in front of a group of strangers, right? So each recite poems in front of the classroom one by one, starting with Monica. After she finishes... Alright, who's to go next? It's doing this again. Image Monica not found. Is this a glitch of the mod, or did something go wrong during the download? Monica's supposed to be there, but she's not there. Is this something that went wrong in my download? Sometimes I struggle with downloading a mod. I wonder if this is like an actual bug in the mod. If so, I'm not going to be too harsh on that. But I'm just really wondering, because like, it would be really good for me to know still anyway. If I got a corrupted version, or... I should stop playing with that. This is obnoxious for me. I'll go. I might as well get it over with. He opens her folder and looks over a few poems she has written. She only settles on one and slowly makes her way to the front of the room, like a condemned criminal taking her final walk. As she passes by me, I notice that her hands are shaking. After a seemingly long while, Yuri finally reaches the podium. She straightens out her paper and slowly looks up at the rest of us. Her eyes are wide and her chest is rising and falling with each rapid breath she takes. My poem is called... Yuri's breathing continues to speed up. I'm almost afraid she will hyperventilate. She glances quickly at each of us one by one, then back at her paper as she fumbles with her hands behind the podium. I wish I could do something for her. I don't have many options, so I decide to do the only thing I can think of. You'll do great, Yuri. You got this. He looks up at me suddenly. Yeah, you can do it, Yuri! Almost on cue, Sayori starts chanting Yuri's name like a cheerleader at a sporting event. Yuri! 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 But despite all Sayori's enthusiasm, Yuri never breaks eye contact with me. Her breathing slows down and her expression calms. My poem is called The Portrait of a Crimson Eye. I was standing alone, people crowding the halls. A captive in this place, I wandered deeper and deeper, feeling like such a disgrace, walking through an open door. I felt disoriented, no more. She closes her eyes and she delivers her poem. Her voice is strong and purposeful, a far cry from her nervous stuttering. The vibrant colors on the shells, people keeping to themselves, except for one, enduring the elder's wrath for trying to yell and distract. I wandered deep within, and I soon began to gaze at the shelves. I soon found myself at the end of a shelf. She begins to gesture with her arms as if she is inviting us to join her on some mysterious journey. Her body moves slightly but gracefully as she speaks. All this combines to create an almost hypnotic effect. I also really love moving my body when I do that. Like, even when I'm reading like the poems here, you can't really notice it, but I'm pointing things, I'm moving my arms, I'm moving my hands. So I began again, and the inferno I felt surging when I could rather be working on the assignment soon due. And the end of the day, I walked away with a book of my choice. A book of a portrait of a crimson eye. Yuri finishes a poem and opens her eye. There's a moment of silence that hangs in the air as the rest of us absorb what we have just experienced. I hope it wasn't too long. Sorry. Wow. Yuri, this song is so cool! Not bad, I guess. Wow, Yuri, where have you been hiding that? Really, I'm glad you liked it. It's just me, but I almost feel like Yuri was looking right at me when she said that. We'll now switch the poems after that, including a riveting performance by myself, of course. And then our time is up for today. So and I walk home together since we live so close. However, before we set out, I take a moment to say goodbye to Yuri. Hey Yuri, our poetry reading today was awesome. I can't wait for the festival so I can hear more. That's really nice of you to say, John. There was an older poem from a little while ago. I think I may write a new one for the festival. Well, if you write it, I'm sure it'll be good. Maybe you could write a poem about me sometime. Oh, well, perhaps I shall. Alright then, see you tomorrow, Yuri. Until tomorrow, John. Let's see. It's Thursday, so that means it's stir-fry night. She works until 10, so I have extra time to prepare. I'll prepare beef and broccoli for dinner. Ah, like delicious. Almost said like lecker. When it comes to food, I'm still pretty German. I also have to always be sure I write properly when I'm writing like cooking or things about food when I'm like writing stories. Because when it comes to food, I'm still struggling quite a bit. I'll need to pick up some meat from the market. Oh dear! And so, when she wasn't looking, I knocked her book onto the floor. So of course she bent over to pick it up. And I just sat back and admired the view. Show the world to me, baby! It's him! I can't face him today. I will come a different way today. Maybe I won't run into him. Well, I guess a new route isn't too bad. It'll take longer to get home, but I should still have enough time to get to the market. I'll need to make extra time to read ahead. Even though I've read Portrait of Markov before, I don't want to be far behind John. Do you always discuss your plans out loud with yourself? Natsuki! What are you doing here? My house is this way. I will come this way every day. What are you doing here? It's so embarrassing. There's this boy who's been saying things to me. Okay, stop right there. First off, I think I knew who you're talking about, and you aren't the only girl who's had trouble with him. Second off, you don't have to be embarrassed about some guy being a jerk to you. You didn't do anything wrong. Third off, he'll leave you alone if you travel with a group. Well, come with me after school. He won't bother you at all. I promise. But I don't want to be a burden to you or anything. Besides, well, I know you don't. I don't what, Yuri? You don't like me. It's fine, really. I know how the people feel about me. I know you just tolerate me since we are both in literature club. And I appreciate it, but you don't need to keep that up outside of the club. I understand. Yuri, I don't dislike you. I mean, you're odd. I'll give you that. And I kind of thought you were stuck up when I first joined. And you did kind of piss me off yesterday. But that doesn't mean I hate that. But I don't hate you or anything. In fact, I think some of the books you read sound kind of cool. Really? Yeah, but don't tell the others I said that. Hey, look at that! I got a laugh out of you! I'm so rude to you yesterday, Natsuki. Don't worry about it. I think we both know what we were really arguing about. So, apparently we both wrote about the same subject in our poems. Yes! About unusual hobbies and how others perceive them. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but mine was about manga. Everyone seems to think it's childish, but I really enjoy the deep characters and thought-provoking stories.
You've mentioned that before, Natsuki. I admit that I've never really thought much about manga, as I thought it was for children. What drew you to it in the first place?
Well, when I was a little girl, my mom would take me to the store to go shopping with her. I hated every minute of it. It was so boring. So, as a way to keep me happy, she started buying me issues of manga when I behaved. After that, I loved our trips to the store. So, I guess that's how it all started. Now that I say it out loud, it almost sounds like manga brings me happy memories of my mom.
Oh, your mother. Is she?
Yeah, she's gone.
I see. I'm sorry. That's how it is with me as well. My father isn't with us anymore. Now that he's gone, it's just my mother and I. She has to provide for the both of us by herself. She works 2 different jobs just to keep our little household afloat. I do what I can to help. Since she isn't home much of the time, I clean the house and I usually prepare dinner.
I like the detail, because on Sunday and usually on Sunday, it seems to be very important for her to make dinner on time. And of course, that could just be like a normal thing that a very organized person would want to do properly, but I think that adds a layer to it that I think would add some depth as to why it's so important to her to make dinner there. I kind of like that idea.
It's really just me a lot of the time.
Yeah, I do love the cooking as well. Although my dad is home quite a bit.
Oh, Natsuki! Cherish every moment you have with your father! You don't know how blessed you are to still have a father in your life.
Yeah, I can say that again. Well, anyway, we're almost at my house. I wonder how they're going to be like, what her father is going to be like. I'm pretty sure her story will focus on that. I have seen an image. I have seen a singular image of a family portrait. So I know Natsuki's story is going to surround her family there. Anyway, we're almost at my house. Hey, since we were writing about the same things last night, why don't we pick a topic and write poems about it? It'd be a neat way to see how our different styles tackle the same subject.
That sounds like a marvelous idea.
Alright, what should we write about?
How about the beach?
The beach?
Yes, discussing happier times has made me think of the beach. My parents used to take me there when I was a little girl. I remember standing there at the edge of the water, letting the waves wash over my feet. I would sink into the sand just a little and feel the grains between my toes. And when the water would recede, I would watch it and wonder where it went. Where did the water begin? And where did it end? Oh, if only we could all be so young and innocent again. Depends on your childhood. I think that may be my happiest memory.
Really? It's not so different with me. We used to go to the beach as a family as well. I think our last trip was in my mom's last days. She wasn't feeling too well, but she insisted we take a trip as a family. I remember building sand castles and watching the waves crash away my footprints. I kept asking my mom where they went. I remember my dad laughed at that. That may have been the last time I heard him. Alright, we write about the beach tonight and compare our poems together. So it seems that this Natsuki story might be about her father. After the mother dying, he kind of got more cold or spread into alcohol, but we'll see. But it seems like they were a beautiful, happy family, and then after the mother's death, he had some type of... It changed him. Maybe the bad, Natsuki looks a bit like her mother, and due to that, he also feels a bit emotional looking at her, and it makes him more aggressive. We'll see. Deal?
Yes. Deal!
Alright then. See you tomorrow, Yuri!
And you as well, Natsuki!
Yuri!
Oh, there you are, John.
Yuri, please. I have something I need to tell you.
Of course, John. You can tell me anything.
Yuri, I love you! Yuri the Daydreamer. I'm assuming this is another daydream and not another dream.
John! This is so forward of you!
I can't deny my feelings any longer. I love you, Yuri.
I I love you too, John. My darling, you'll never be alone again. Oh, my love. My heart beats only for you.
Yuri. Yuri. Yuri! Your heart beats only for who now?
Natsuki! There was something in
my book. Yeah, I've heard it before, Yuri. Don't think I don't know what's on your mind.
Oh,
Uh-huh. Say, what's to do with Sayori?
what do you mean?
You didn't notice? She's not bouncing everywhere. She's not chatting our ears off. And she's been staring at the wall for at least the last 10 minutes.
Now that you mention it, it's the first time I've seen her so fatigued. I wonder if something is wrong.
I don't know. John went to talk to her, and now it looks like Monica's heading over there.
Well, I hope it's nothing serious. Perhaps I'll ask John about it.
Oh, look at you! Taking the initiative and all!
Well, Sayori's close friends with John, and perhaps there is something affecting them both.
Whatever you say, Yuri. I'm so impressed that I'll let you head over there to talk to him while I organize my manga.
I didn't realize I had to get your permission to talk to John.
Oh no, nothing like that. It's just that once he starts talking to me, he's not gonna want to stop.
Oh, Natsuki!
Catch you later, Yuri. I'm sitting at one of the desks near the middle of the room. I've got my copy of Portrait of Markov ready, as well as the next volume for Girls. But I'm too busy thinking about Sayori to meet up with either Yuri or Natsuki. It's weird. The mere sight of an unhappy Sayori brings my whole world down. Perhaps I suddenly have the feeling that I'm being watched. I sit up and realize that I've been staring off into space. You're sitting in the chair next to me. She must have sat down while I was spaced out. Strangely, she doesn't have a face in the book. Instead, her copy of Markov is sitting on the desk in front of her, unopened. She is turned in her chair to face me. She's looking at me intently, with concern on her face.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stare or intrude on your thoughts. If you'd rather be alone.
No, it's fine, Yuri.
Are you alright?
Yes, am I don't know.
It's weird, isn't it?
I just... seeing her like this... It isn't her, you know? I mean, people have ups and downs, but I've never seen Sayori down before, aside from the other times that he mentioned seeing him down before. But I'm assuming the emphasis on it is like, she's down. I don't know how to feel about it. Maybe I'm kind of unloading on Yuri. To benefit, she's just sitting there quietly listening to me ramble. Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri. I didn't mean to talk your ear off like that. Now it's my turn to apologize.
Don't worry about it, John. Sometimes we all just need a listening ear, and I don't mind at all. But as for Sayori, it seems there's more to her thoughts than she lets on.
Well, I suppose, but I've only known her for so long. I just kind of assumed I knew everything about her. But I've known her for so long. Yuri looks down at the floor for a moment, then she looks straight into my eyes.
Sometimes people keep their innermost feelings, even from the people they love.
What's that about Sayori?
Anyway, I can tell how much you care about Sayori. You are sharing her pain.
Really? How so?
Well, let me show you.
You picks up a copy of Portrait of Markov and flips to a chapter in the middle. Back to the ear. The listening ear.
Here, this might spoil a few things, but I think this part explains what I mean.
Yuri scoots a chair over to me, and we assume our reading position with both of us looking at the same book. I will admit, I'm still worried about Sayori, but being around Yuri has calmed me down a bit. I start reading the chapter that Yuri has pointed out to me. There are a few plot-related things I don't really fully understand, so I haven't read about them yet, but the crux of the chapter deals with the main character, Elijah. She's been captured by a group of deranged people who are performing horrible experiments on her. The Elijah that's in that link, which is like a literal website you can find to it. It's like, I'm pretty sure she was very young. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, was she perhaps even a baby? Or a toddler? I remember her being very young, and that's also why they didn't want to do like any type of sexual tests with her or something along those lines. So, kind of having this kind of a bit contradicting each other. I mean, it's not something can be faulted for, but for a moment I was kind of like weirded out. At this point, she has been locked in a room after the latest round of experiments have finished. She's at the brink of despair and considers stabbing herself to death with a jagged piece of metal she has ripped off of the bed frame. However, she suddenly becomes aware of her friend who is searching for her. Elijah had disappeared from her town, and her best friend, and the one Yuri had compared to Yuri, had been looking tirelessly for her whereabouts. It's been long enough that her friend was about to abandon her search, and she cried out with her heart full of pain. Somehow, Alicia's formed a sort of psychic rapport with her friend, and the two are able to read each other's emotions. Two of them share their pain with each other, and this gives them a strength to continue their individual plights. After reading the chapter, I close the book and take it in the words for a moment. So, are you saying so now I have psychically linked? I know what it means. Oh no, of course not! But I just can't say it. At least, I don't think so. Anyway, the point is, Alicia and her friends shared their pain with each other and were able to persevere because of it. That doesn't make sense. Wouldn't sharing pain just multiply it? Not in this case. Instead of multiplying the pain, the two of them drew strength from each other. So instead of one person bearing the weight of their sorrows, there were two. And two people can shoulder a burden more effectively than one. It isn't good for us to be alone. We were meant to be with other people. We were meant to laugh together, to cry together, to walk together down the path that lies before us. And here you are, your heart aching to share Sayori's burden, to lessen her sorrows. I wish I could. I pray she knows that she has a wonderful friend like you. It would be so much harder for her if she had nobody. Sad look passes over Yuri's face. For the first time, I realized the effect that loneliness has had on her. But dumbfounded. I don't really know how to respond to that. Part of me wants to hug her, but I don't know how she would feel about that, so I decided against it. Thank you, Yuri. That actually kinda helped me figure things out a little. His expression perks up a little at that. You're welcome, John. Well, I guess since we've read our chapter today, even though it was out of order. Don't worry about it. I'm more interested now to see how Elijah and her friend get that psychic thing going. Maybe I'll read a few chapters this weekend and get caught up to it up to this point. Well, that's a noble goal. I'll be interested to see if you can do it. Oh, is that a challenge? Yuri smiles at me. Perhaps, John, perhaps. Flirting? Yuri? Well, challenge accepted. I'll be all caught up by Monday. Very well. But you owe me if you fail. Oh, really? What will I owe you? Oh, well, we'll see, I suppose. Ha! Still, Yuri! Our day continues normally after that, though I continue to keep an eye on Sayori. Eventually, Marika calls us all over to share our poems. I do believe, John, that we may just make a poet out of you yet. You seem to grasp and apply concepts quickly. You're free from tendencies from the first day I've mostly consolidated into an actual form. Well, I guess it means I'm a poet and didn't know it, eh? I have to say, I appreciate Yuri laughs at my stupid jokes. So, content to use a variety of antonyms in your poetry. Look, like you're so confused about something. Well, I'm an easy guy to confuse. Right. Tell me, John. Are you having difficulty with some decision? She would have to ask that. Well, there are a lot of changes coming up soon in our lives. I guess I'm a little worried about how all that will play out. I see. Not exactly a lie, but... Do your feelings have anything to do with the way Sayori is acting today? Well, I suppose so. I read the poem before she was acting weird, but... I mean, it's like I said earlier. I guess everything just seems out of sorts with her acting so down. Yes, I can see how difficult it would be. How much
Sometimes you wish you could remove the painful weight from the shoulders of the one you... Huh? What was that, Yuri? Nothing. Here, read my poem. Beach. A marvel. Millions of years in the making. Where the womb of Earth chaotically meets the surface. Under clear blue sky. An expanse of bliss. But beneath grey rolling clouds, an endless enigma. The easiest world to get lost in is one where everything can be found. One can only build a sandcastle where the sand is wet, but where the sand is wet, the tide comes. Will it gently lick at your foundations until you give in? Or will a sudden wave send you crashing down in the blink of an eye? Either way, the outcome is the same. Yet we still build sandcastles. I stand where the foam wraps around my ankles, where my toes squish into the sand. The salty air is therapeutic. The breeze is gentle, yet powerful. I sink my toes into the ultimate boundary line, tempted by the foamy tendrils. Turn back, and I abandon my peace to a road at the shore. Drift forward, and I return to Earth forevermore.
Oh wow, the beach! I'm trying not to imagine Yuri in a swimsuit. I'm failing at trying to not to imagine Yuri in a swimsuit.
John, are you okay?
Fine! I really like the imagery this poem conveys. Exactly. Again, not exactly a lie.
Oh, John, I was so worried about this poetry sharing exercise. But I feel I
find it easy to share poems with you. If I didn't know any better, that almost sounds like... Well, I'm glad you find me to get along with Yuri.
Perhaps we can share some more poetry this weekend at Monica's house.
Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't know about that? Well, Monica will discuss it after we are done with poems.
Oh, okay. I wonder what's going on this weekend. Yesterday, you and Natsuki just happened to touch on similar subjects for your poems. But today you both wrote about the beach? You two collaborated, didn't you?
Well, yes, I hope that's alright. I mean, I understand that poetry should come from the heart, and perhaps it is the best when the subject is found naturally. But we were talking after our club meeting yesterday, and the topic came up so naturally. I hope you aren't upset that we planned to write about the same subject.
Upset? Yuri, I couldn't be happier. I want this place to be inviting and comfortable. You've always been so quiet. You've been afraid to ask me about joining when we first met. And you weren't exactly gung-ho about this poetry sharing exercise. But now, you are discussing poetry with Natsuki after club meetings? You've really come out of your shell, Yuri.
It just sort of worked out, I guess.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what you get closer to all of us, Yuri. Anyway, we're supposed to be sharing poems, so here's mine. The lady who knows everything. We didn't get her poem last time. Because, and we didn't get this one. We didn't get the second one in Yuri's episode. Interesting. I wonder if Natsuki's episode, we're not going to have a first one. The lady who knows everyone. I just want to correct myself if I said second one. The first one. Maybe I said first one. My brain is shutting down. The lady who knows everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders Earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer. All meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather, lost into the sky, victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day, I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist,
But when all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering in the twilight sky. Until one day the wind ceases to blow, I fall, and I fall, and fall, and fall even more, gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything, knows what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend. Your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. Give me a second. I want to make sure everything is recording properly. I'm a bit paranoid after what happened recently. Oh, Monica, this poem is so melancholy. It's probably the loveliest depiction of frustration I've ever read. I knew you'd get it, Yuri. How could I not? The feather in the wind, the fruitless search. I say what you are trying to convey, but I have a hard time believing it. Like I said before, Yuri, I'm not as in control as I appear. In fact, there are several areas in my life that I feel I have no control over at all. And well, that frustrates me. I think we had different interpretations of the feelings conveyed by the poem. Monica, I emphasize with you. You keep saying that you want this club to be a place of comfort for all of us, but did you perhaps want to provide a space like that because you never had one yourself? Perhaps that's the case, Yuri. I'll tell you this. I know what it's like to have difficulty fitting in and making friends. I know how it feels to be lonely. I desperately want Literature Club to be a place devoid of loneliness. As far as it stands for me, I believe you've succeeded. I think this is the only place I feel I really belong, Monica. Thank you, Yuri. Statements like that make it all worth it. Well, it is my preferred style. I like your poem, Yuri. Perhaps you are trying to see the value in more expressive wordplay? No! Still, the way you write this, I can almost smell the ocean air and feel the sand under my feet. It's like your words take you there. Oh, really? But don't let that get to your head or anything! Poems don't need to be wordy or long to be complex. And it's all about how you use the words you have. Take Molotov, for instance. I'll be your beach. Your mind is so full of troubles and fears that diminished your wonder over the years. But today I have a special place, a beach for us to go. A shore reaching beyond your sight, a sea that sparkles with brilliant light. The walls in your mind will melt away before the sunny glow. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you thought had left you long ago. Let's bury your heavy thoughts in a pile of sand, bathe in sunbeams, and hold my hand. Wash insecurities in the salty sea, and let me see you shine. Let's leave your memories in the footprint trail, set you free in my windy sail, and remember
The reasons you're wonderful when you press your lips to mine. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap anywhere you thought had left you long ago. But if you let me by your side, your own beach, your own escape, you'll learn to love yourself again.
Natsuki, I can't help but notice that your poem is longer than mine.
Well, perhaps. But while yours is more free-form, my poem is patterned around a rhyming form. So even though it is longer, it repeats more. So my poem still doesn't need all the complex wordplay to be brilliant.
If I didn't know any better, Natsuki, I'd say my story is starting to rub off on you.
Oh, stop it! Still, I think this has been a nice exercise for the two of us. I'll admit, perhaps complex wordplay can be used to create effective poems.
Thank you, Natsuki. Discussing this with you has helped me to realize that sometimes brevity is the soul of wit. A true wordsmith can convey something complex with something simple.
Ha! Feels nice to finally hear you admit it. Hey, perhaps we should spend some more time reading each other's poetry. Maybe we could learn some more from each other. How about we read a few after we get done here?
Well, that sounds nice, but only if we can sit on the floor while we do it. I'm having pains in my back, and I need to lean against the wall for a while if I'm going to read some more.
Oh? What's wrong with your back?
Nothing! I simply have poor reading posture. It causes my back to tense up if I sit in one of these chairs too long.
Aha! Posture. That's what you're calling it? Jeez, I wish I had your back problems.
Please, Natsuki! I'm terribly self-conscious about, well... I don't like the attention.
Alright, I get it. I won't bring it up again.
Thank you, Natsuki.
Alright guys, now that we've read our poems, we need to discuss festival preparations. We all know what our jobs are, right? I know what I'm doing. That's right. Now let's be making cupcakes. Yep, all sorts of different flavors. You'll be helping decorations. We'll be preparing decorations for our club room. A room full of decorations adorned by your beautiful handwriting will really enhance the atmosphere.
Of course. After all, I love atmosphere.
I admit I crack up a little inside after hearing Yuri say that. She seems like she's coming out of her shell a little bit more every day. I'm glad I've gotten to know her well enough that I can see more of her personality.
Don't we all?
And so Yuri, you're in charge of pamphlets.
Yep, I've got lots of happy designs already. We'll be rolling in members in no time.
So she's still here.
So,
wait, no. She was there last time too. She snuck out when Yuri and Natsuki were giving their phone numbers. Okay.
so what time do we need to come over, Monica?
Huh? Come over where?
Oh, John, you weren't paying attention, were you?
Do I ever?
Monica's invited all of us to her house tomorrow so we can work on our various projects together. If we help each other, the work will go much faster. Plus, it will be a splendid opportunity to get to know each other outside of school. It'll be like a literature retreat.
Yep, lots of discussing what we're reading. Poetry. And I'll be baking, so there'll be plenty of desserts to go around.
Yay! A whole day of all of us to hang out.
Oh, so you do have room for your newest member, right? No, they have nothing but sweets and pretty girls. Twist my arm. Plus, I have to admit, I'm a bit curious to see what Monica's house looks like. Actually, guys, that's the thing I need to talk to you about. I can't have you all over this weekend.
Huh? But...
Oh, but the preparations.
Yeah, Monica, what gives? We're supposed to use that time to get all our stuff done. Look, guys, I'm really sorry, but something important suddenly came up. I can't really go into the details right now, but believe me, I'd have never called off our get-together for anything else.
but the decorations I have planned would really benefit from the input of other people. This synergy produced through group work would really add to the presentation.
Yeah, and baking for so many people takes a lot of time, a long time. I mean, I could do it by myself, but it'd be so much easier with help. I was really looking forward to it.
I know, Sayori. We all were.
Well, that deflated the mood fast. I guess it means preparations for the festival are going to be a lot harder now. Unless... Hey guys, just a thought, but why don't we move it to my house? Well, that got their attention. I agrees to come over to my house to complete their projects. He proposes that everyone come over one at a time, since there is enough room for everyone at once. I'm not gonna lie, the idea of a group of gorgeous girls parading in and out of my house all weekend sounds like a good time. Sayori, Yuri, and Natsuki scrabble a bit over when everyone will come over, but it is ultimately decided that Sayori will come over on Saturday morning, Yuri on Saturday afternoon, and Natsuki on Sunday. After all of that is sorted out, Yuri comes up to me as the meeting is ending. Well, earlier, she seemed a little more confident than usual. She once again seems nervous and is fidgeting with her hands.
I think we should exchange numbers.
Oh, right! How could I forget to do that? That way I can text you to you directions to my house. Yuri quickly turns away, obviously flustered. Are you okay, Yuri?
It's just a bit of a step. I mean, giving you my number. I'm going to your house.
Oh, don't think anything of it. I mean, Sarah and Natsuki are coming over as well. It's not like I'm asking you to marry me or anything. Yuri? I think I broke Yuri.
Oh, of course! This is nothing more than two friends spending time together.
Right! Plus, my parents are out of town this weekend, so we'll have plenty of room to work.
Oh! So we'll be alone at your house?
Well, yes, I suppose so.
Alright then.
She seems flustered. But do I detect a hint of anticipation in her voice?
Well, then we can contact each other. Suppose I'll see you on Saturday then?
Absolutely! I'm looking forward to it. Yuri flashes a wide smile at me. It's a look I honestly didn't expect to see from her.
I, as well, I'm looking forward to it, John. Until then,
I'm beginning to wonder what I've got myself into. Hey, Yuri! Wake up!
oh, Natsuki.
Hey, are you walking your normal way home? I thought we were going to walk home. You were going to walk with me so you wouldn't run into Kay or Guy.
Well, I didn't know you wanted to walk home with me. I mean, considering the status of our rivalry.
Rivalry? Ugh, why can't you just come out and say it? We are competing for the same guy.
Doesn't that make us enemies?
Enemies? Yuri, what do you think this is? Some kind of cheap romance novel? I like him. Do you like him? This isn't going to end with the two of us squaring off with sabers at dawn. That was a joke.
I'm sorry, Natsuki. I'm just new to this whole scenario.
Oh, please. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror lately?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, come on. You're tall. You're gorgeous. You have long legs and hair that cascades down like a waterfall. You've got this, oh look at me, I'm so demure and shy, I'm hiding by my hair thing going. You've got big, posture.
Big posture?
The point is, if you wanted, you could have a whole boatload of guys at your fingertips. Why didn't you go bat your eyes at one of them? And you know, the rest of us have a chance.
It's really not that easy for me, Natsuki. The way I am, it isn't some coy thing I do for attention. Quite the opposite, really. I am vexed and frustrated by my inability to relate to other people. I never know what to say to them, how they may perceive what I do that say. I feel like there is a sort of chasm or gulf between me and everyone else, where they wander beyond it without trouble, or sit at the edge, forever contemplating how to cross. I can see them out there, holding hands, talking, laughing, but not me. Even the smallest interaction is a monumental task, and I'm so afraid of losing what little I have in the way of relationships. So now that John is part of the literature club, and I have known him to be relatable and understanding, well, I think maybe he is the one to guide me across the wretched chasm. The space between.
Well, that's real poetic and all, but it doesn't really change the way I feel. So don't think I'm gonna bow out or anything.
I understand, Natsuki. Suppose I should expect nothing less.
Hey, don't make this out to be a declaration of war. Look, let's make a pact. No matter which one of us John ends up with, we'll both promise to remain friends. How does that sound?
You and I are friends?
Well, yeah. I like hanging out with you. Our interests are similar, but different enough that we can have good discussions about them. And it's been really nice getting to know you the last few days. So yeah, that sounds like a friendship to me.
Oh, well, yes. I accept your pact of friendship. And I swear that I shall endure beyond the conscience of the heart that we find ourselves embroiled in.
Sure. So, anyway, I guess I'll see you on Monday?
Yes, at the festival.
Alright! You'll find me hanging off of John's arm!
Oh, Natsuki!
See you then!
I swear something should drive me insane! But then, perhaps that is the mark of true friendship? At any rate, we'll see who's hanging off of John's arm come Monday.